Jekyll and Hyde happy pill. It's brought relief to millions, but is linked to suicide, low libido, and birth defects, and we still don't know how Prozac works. This is a long article out of the Daily Mail, but what caught my eye was this part, about halfway through the article. It talks about the origins of Prozac, and listen to this quote. What followed was a marketing strategy that is as old as the pharmaceutical industry itself. If you've got a new cure for an illness, make the illness massively more popular. Eli Lilly printed 8 million brochures highlighting the symptoms of depression and publicizing a new no-hassle treatment. With the rapid rise of Prozac came an epidemic in diagnoses of depression. So this article basically admits that the pharmaceutical industry, this was in Britain, but it's the same everywhere, worked with the government to create the myth, the false perception that depression was a new epidemic, purely as a marketing campaign to sell Prozac. That's how it started in the late 80s. And now it's basically, as we know, become the Soma pill of our time, despite its clear connection with suicides, violent behavior, birth defects, school shootings. And this article goes through it all. It's a long article, but I suggest you read the rest of it out of the Daily Mail. Pope Benedict XVI in shock, resignation. Pope Benedict XVI is to resign at the end of the month after nearly 8 years at the head of the Catholic Church, saying he is too old to continue at the age of 85, reports BBC News. The unexpected development, the first papal resignation in nearly 600 years, surprised governments, Vatican watchers, and even his closest aides. The Vatican says it expects a new pope to be elected before Easter. So Cardinal Ratzinger is out. He's citing declining health, the need to take a break. The last pope to resign was Pope Gregory XII, who resigned in 1415 amid a schism within the church. So people are asking, is it just his health? Is that the only reason for his shock resignation? Because it's basically unheard of. I mean, you remember the previous Pope, John Paul II, he was the second longest serving pope in history and battled through severely ill health right up until his death. Of course, never relinquished the papacy, even though he was diagnosed with Parkinson's in 2001. So the resignation of Ratzinger, the former Hitler Youth member, of course, is somewhat odd to say the least. And there's speculation going around that Ratzinger is about to be personally sued by the victims of the pedophilia scandal, which of course has plagued the Catholic Church over the last decade. So basically the church didn't want him involved when he was being sued over that scandal. And we know that Ratzinger himself was Archbishop of Munich at the same time that, quote, a known molester was quietly reassigned, allowing him to return to pastoral duties and make contact with young people. That's what The Guardian reported today. So it could be related to that. Another interesting theory, which I saw on attorney Kurt Haskell's Facebook page, who of course is a regular guest on the show, posits that the next pope is Peter the Roman, and he will apparently be the last pope. And this is based on the predictions of Saint Malachi, the Irish saint, who says, quote, he said back, nearly 1,000 years ago now, in the persecution of the Holy Roman Church, there will reign Peter the Roman, who will feed his flock among many tribulations, after which the seven-hilled city, Rome, will be destroyed, and the dreadful judge will judge the people. So if you take a look at this Saint Malachi's predictions, he predicted all the popes based on their coat of arms, based on their place of origin, their birth. To some degree of accuracy, it's still hotly debated. But he said basically that the next pope after Ratzinger, who's going to resign imminently within the next few weeks, the next pope is going to be the final pope. So it all starts to get a little bit apocalyptic. But certainly Malachi got it right with the persecution of the Roman church around this time. This is when he predicted that the church would begin to be persecuted, which of course it has been over the last 10 years. Many, of course, will point out that this was brought on by the church itself as a result of its failure to prosecute the paedophilia scandal. So we wait with interest to see who the next pope will be, and if he'll herald the kind of cataclysm described by Saint Malachi almost 1,000 years ago. So it's all deliciously apocalyptic. We urge you again to subscribe at prisonplanet.tv, just tons of exclusive multimedia content, some of which you won't see on YouTube, and you get live access, of course, to this show and the Alex Jones radio show live streaming video.
Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the site, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want.